Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. Paul here. Today this video is for you, those that are actually considering on starting the immigrant journey, okay, are considering actually to become immigrants, are for those that actually are in the middle of the journey, or for those that actually are considering on ending the journey and getting back to their home countries, okay, or it's just for you, people that actually just like the topic and are actually looking at this video. Okay, with that said, so today I'll be sharing with you why did I actually took the decision to move countries. Okay, where was I in terms of economical situation, and where do I actually stand today? Things are quite different. Then outside of that, of course, I will share with you the cultural shocks. Okay, so I've been working and living across 5 different countries, and of course, whenever you move from one country to the other, you will feel it. Okay, you will feel the cultural shock. It will change you. It will shape you for sure. Okay, and then last but not least, I'm going to share with you actually if I would do it again. Okay, what are the challenges? What is it that actually it's pros and cons? So I'll share all of those with you today. So hopefully this will be an interesting session. Don't go anywhere, stick around. Let's go into this. So to start from, why did I actually left, and why should you actually consider on living as well? Okay, so drop your comments and thoughts around this one. I think it's important for us actually to exchange ideas on this, because my point of view is my point of view and maybe you have a different one. Okay. So essentially I left for 4 main reasons, I would say. So one was the economic reason, okay, that is one. Then the other one was around growth, okay, I wanted to grow professionally as well. Then the third reason was actually around corruption, so I'll share with you my thoughts around that. And then I had the fourth one, okay, that was looking actually to know different people, different culture, way of living, thinking, etc. Because I think that is also important for you to grow as an individual. Okay, so let's go a bit more into the details. Okay, from an economical background. Okay, so why did I actually left? Okay, so essentially at the time I was working as a marketing and sales manager. I was earning roughly around 23,800 euros annually, so round about 1,700 euros a month. Okay, when I left Portugal. Okay, so at that moment in time, I believe I had reached a position, I would say that from a Portuguese perspective, maybe it was comfortable enough for even not considering actually to leave. This money-wise, that is, okay, but that actually did not allow me to do what I wanted. Okay, so I wanted to travel, I wanted to know people, I wanted to spend more or invest more, let's say, on my own personal development and take a master's or whatever I would like to study. And then at the end I took the decision that this is just not enough. So that was the reason. Okay, so from a money perspective. Okay, so then meaning the second point that I mentioned, growth. I remember that at the moment it seemed that I actually reached a kind of a glass ceiling. Actually, I would say that I could see through the glass ceiling, but at the same time I could not break through. Okay, and that feeling was completely overwhelming. At the end, I started to feel a bit of frustration, because I felt that I could grow more, but it was not possible. So I was more or less on the same position for 5 years and earning more or less the same. So I was not going anywhere. Okay, so really difficult to move from one company to the other, change roles, etc. And then at the end, meaning I took the decision to actually to do something about it. Okay, and that something about it needed to, or at least from my perspective at the time, needed to go through. I need to go out and go to another country. Okay, and then I remember that at the time a good friend of mine, Nusha. Not sure if you are seeing the video. Just give me a shout if you are. So she's living in Australia, and in between she was thinking actually on moving to Australia, and she moved actually before I left Portugal, let's say. And she gave me a piece of advice that actually I was able to confirm later on. Okay, she said that after leaving to another country, or in this case to Australia, she was able to get access to opportunities that you actually don't even have access to while working in Portugal. And that is actually correct, okay? So, and she also shared with me two things, okay, that at the end I actually almost confirmed. One was that you actually are better than you think you are. Okay, so this is also for you, meaning even if you are living on a different country and they are thinking on migrating, okay, on becoming an immigrant, of course you're gonna feel this pain, but I can assure you that you are better than you think you are. Then the other point is that suddenly you will get access to different opportunities. Why? Because the decision centers are on specific countries, okay? And if you move to those countries, you will actually get access to those opportunities while you are, for instance, in my case, I was in Portugal, and honestly, I was not getting access to none of those opportunities. If you take a look into my LinkedIn, I'll just drop it somewhere, okay, you will see the difference and the growth that I had. So I'm now one, let's say, between brackets special, so I think that you can also have a similar growth, okay? Take my word for it, okay? Then, of course, fast forward, we are in a different era, you know, meaning digital economy is there, digital nomads, the pandemic, you know, aka COVID-19, completely transformed the way that we work, that we think that we should work. And of course now essentially you can actually work from whatever you want to work, okay? There is no reason why you should not. And I would say that specifically on this point, I'm not sure about your country, but on this specific point, Portugal actually rocks. Okay, it's one of the top countries for you to actually to become a digital nomad, to work and embrace the digital economy from an infrastructure perspective. Internet-wise, it's really powerful and fast. You can get your work done. You have loads of co-working spaces. People are nice. Food is good. Meaning, what else do you need? No, it's like sun, etc. So if you can actually embrace that part, I would say, and I would advise you actually to take a look at this video as well around digital nomads, and specifically in Portugal. Take a look, and I think it will actually help you on taking your decision. Okay, moving forward. So third point, corruption. Okay, meaning I was naive enough to think that Portugal had a corruption problem. Meaning when you look at the bigger scale of things, yes, you do find corruption in Portugal as you would find on any other country. Actually, I think Portugal is roughly around the number 32 or out of 192 countries that we have in the world in terms of level of corruption. Plus, is the third safest country in the world. So I was completely wrong, I would say, in my assumption that I was completely wrong. So the other two, yes, economical, and then the growth part, yes, but this part was completely out of the window, I would say. Then the other point, that was the fourth one, actually looking to know more people, different cultures, background, etc. Yes, that for me was a given, meaning when I left, I had visited, I think, roughly around 4 countries. Now I think I'm over, I don't know, 25 or 30 or whatever countries. Plus, I started to work on companies that I had like 10 different nationalities, 30 different nationalities, 50 different nationalities. I think the one that where I had more people was like 52 different nationalities. And of course, you are open to that. You can actually learn, you can understand much more of actually people think, and believe me, everything that you are, it's all about context. Okay, things are different when you move from one country to the other, and that's what I'm going to be talking about on this video as well. It's about the cultural shock. Okay, with that said, don't go anywhere. Stick around for the next one. Okay, guys, let's talk about cultural shock. Where to start? Of course, you're gonna feel a cultural shock, meaning I felt it, a cultural shock, of course, but you'll learn a lot. It will shape you. At least it did on my case, and I'll share that with you as well. So, to start from, I was, let's say, a local, and then I became an immigrant. Then I became an expat, okay, and opening and closing brackets. What is this about? Is there a difference between an immigrant and expat? Yes, you're gonna have differences between the two. I'm gonna give you the Netherlands and Spain as an example. I'm gonna drop them on the description below and somewhere here. Okay, so what I would say that, for instance, if you go into the Netherlands, you have the 30% rule. You need to take a look at. Essentially, it allows for you to have a cut on your taxes of roughly 30% for 10 years or so. I need to take a look if the rule is slightly different, but essentially that. And then you have the Beckham law, that where I am right now, that gives you 24% tax. So it's a flat rate that you pay across 5 years, plus you have a few other discounts around the first half year. Let's put it like that. Okay. With that said, yes, there is a difference between being an immigrant and an expat. Closing brackets. Then, can you become an expat? Yes, you can. Okay, I'll drop it also. How is it that you can actually become an expat? Then, in Spain, it's called actually the Beckham law. Okay, take a look into that if you want to know it. Then, of course, then I would say that at the end I became a global citizen. Why? Because I started to work more at the global level, and I started to think things on a global scale. Is it because I'm not in love with my country? No, actually on the flip side. Meaning, as I mentioned, so I started to work across different countries, working across with different nationalities and living on different countries. On the back of that, I was more and more in love with my country. Okay, is it that I did not like to live on the other ones? No, it's just that you start to, I don't know, value your country differently. I'm guessing that will happen if you already, meaning if you are an immigrant, you will understand what is it that I'm speaking of, and please drop your comments there if you think otherwise, because I think it's important for us to share with those that actually are looking to become ones. So what is it that they can actually expect? So I think that yes, I'm more in love with my country and even with my national team. So as we stand right now, meaning we are going to face Morocco. Okay, so hopefully everything will go well, and well in the sense that we'll pass to the next stage. Okay, nothing against Morocco. I think Morocco, they are a brilliant team, but yeah, let's finger crossed on that one. Okay. Nevertheless, I think that the next one is that, meaning, and just to close on the national team, I just think that they need just to leverage their own talent, just that. But yeah, my thoughts. Okay, but moving along into the other point that we're speaking of. How is it that countries can actually shape you? So I'm gonna give you a few points, like living in the Netherlands. Okay, their focus is on efficiency. It's essentially everything for them. They have an extreme respect for your balance, for your life and work-life balance, and also they tend to over-organize things. Okay, like for instance, if you have go into a cinema with someone, you need to have like, I don't know, a few days in advance, like 30 days in advance. It will depend because everyone has an agenda. The other point that actually was a kind of a cultural shock for me was that things are actually slower, but in a good sense. Okay, people take their time to do stuff. Okay, then you have other points that are a bit of a cultural shock, like internet access was slow as hell, I would say. So meaning I asked for internet and I went to different providers. It's like 30 days till you actually have your internet access. You go into Portugal, it's like 2-3 days, and then you have the internet and faster. Okay, so those are the things that, meaning, will surprise you, small things, no? Then, like for instance, Belgium, rich and extremely complex with all the divisions between the Flanders, the Brussels and Wallonia part. One of the things that really surprised me a lot in Belgium is like the creativity. People are highly creative. Food, yeah, really, really good, top notch. Okay, meaning as good as in Portugal or whatever country that has good food. Really, really top. And I would say like the feeling that you need when you go to another country, you need to learn their own language. Okay, this was one of the things that I really had like a kind of cultural shock importance that they actually give to that in Belgium. Then UK, so easy to work, man, so easy to work. It's a brilliant atmosphere. Most people are quite supportive, open for changes, ready to help you, focus really on getting shit done, as they say, things done. So yeah, really good. And then what shocked me a lot was the Brexit decision. Meaning, I honestly, till this moment in time, I don't understand why they actually took that decision on the Brexit. Take a look at this video where I'm sharing my thoughts with regards to that, because I would say that essentially they almost like killed their economy. Let's see how things progress. I think things will be fine. Take a look at the video. I'll share my thoughts. Meaning, the other point that really surprised me on the UK was a cultural shock, meaning I'm coming from a country, or was I coming from a country where infrastructure was new. You go to the UK and you feel that the country is actually, meaning naked, meaning infrastructure is old. You take us aside London and things are old. Trains are not in time, or most of the times are late. There's this huge cost of living issue in the UK. Most people earn around, I think it's like £28,000, and things are really expensive. And then at the end, I think like the king runs naked. That is my thoughts, okay? Because it's like, that was a surprise for me, okay? Spain, whoa, creativity at all fronts, okay? I would say, taking the example of Barcelona, I think Barcelona is like an organized chaos with a lot of creativity and things happening, and tech and culture, etc. Everything at the same time. Open-minded people with a lot of ganas para hacer. Okay, it's like they have like the strength, they want to do it, and there is culture and people everywhere. And then last but not least, Portugal. Portugal is like safe, extremely nice people, low profile. People tend to speak lower. It's not like, I think it's because of the Atlantic Ocean, I don't know. You go to Mediterranean countries, and Portugal is not a Mediterranean country, meaning go to Mediterranean countries, Spain, Greece, meaning Greece also has the Aegean Sea, of course. But then you go to Italy and people have like ganas, you know, and in Portugal, and they speak loud and etc. In Portugal, people speak like slow and low profile. It's a cultural shock as well. The other thing is like solution minded. Always in Portugal, it's like you use this word desenrascar, that's around like looking for a solution to fix whatever needs to be fixed. And this amazing mix between conservative people and more alternative people, and of course food. Okay, it's top in Portugal, and Portugal is more and more a powerhouse in terms of alternative energy, food, and tech is growing as hell. Okay, so that's it. So what will be then my end result in terms of how much I was shaped? I think that I tried to grab and take on board everything that was positive, and this is what I would say that you should be doing as well. Okay, I'm more relaxed as the British, I would say, more creative as the Spanish. I have more awareness of the cultural differences as the Belgium, and tend to learn everyone else's languages, but I still have the solution minded of the Portuguese. Okay, and that's it. And to close, would I stay? Or should I stay or should I go? Looking at becoming an immigrant. Stick around, don't go anywhere. Sorry guys, I completely missed out on the Dutch. Okay, so sorry for that. So with regards to the Dutch, what is it that I actually learned? Okay, two things. So one is around balance, okay? Really, really important. Respect yourself, have a better work-life balance. focus on your family, on your friends, etc. I think that is fundamental. Then the other point is around efficiency. Always how to think on how to do things on an efficient manner, how to work in an efficient way. I think that was one of the two things that I really took out from my Dutch experience, and I still keep it today. And then last but not least, I'm working more and more on a global level, okay? And then of course, based on that, I learned two other things, okay? So one is that build things that are sustainable, okay? So we just have one planet, planet A, there is no planet B. And then the other thing is always think on how to build things that are scalable, okay, that can grow without a lot of effort, let's put it like that. So those are the two things that I actually learned on top of my Dutch experience. With that said, don't go anywhere. Let's go for the next one. So would I do it again? The short answer is most definitely yes. Okay, so in between I've grown a lot personally from a growth experience. I had children in between, really chaotic, but really good fun. They are different kind of people with a lot of things going for them, and meaning children adapt much faster than you think, and children will adapt faster than you, okay? So don't be like afraid of actually traveling or having children in between and moving countries. They will adapt. They are like amazing on that front, while we are much more conservative on our approach, I would say. So yes, I would definitely say yes for all of those points. And I would say that without this journey, I could not actually aspire to be where I am right now, okay? I'm closer to independent, to be financially independent. I'm able to work at a global level with a certain degree of geographical independence, and I'm continuing to grow, okay, at different stages of my life. So of course it will be a massive yes, okay? Then if you want to look how to actually leverage all of this that I'm sharing with you, take a look at my video. And to close this and to wrap it up, I just put a video around 10 years of working and living abroad. What were my main lessons, okay? Take a look into that one. Just give it a massive thumbs up, subscribe, and join me on this journey. And if you have any questions whatsoever, just reach out to me, and please do drop your comments below. I'm happy to share and exchange knowledge as always, okay? Take care, my friends. Cheers. Bye-bye.